Hello students, good morning to all. So in this lecture we continue with the same topic as the previous one, that is the development of all quantum mechanics. Myself Dr. Rajesh Kumar, Associate Professor, Government College, Faridabad. So students, in the previous lecture we discussed all those experimental observations or findings which the classical physics could not explain. So therefore there was the need for a theory to explain all those experimental findings, and that theory is quantum mechanics. So quantum mechanics, a brief idea. So quantum mechanics is the description of the matter on atomic and subatomic scale. So matter on subatomic scale or atomic scale behaves in a different manner than the matter on macroscopic scale. So therefore, the behavior of matter on macroscopic scale and microscopic scale, they can't be explained by a single theory. So in quantum mechanics, the dynamical variables like energy, momentum, angular momentum, etc. take on discrete values. For example, in daily life, if you compare the motion of snake and motion of frog, the motion of snake is continuous, say it is classical, and motion of frog is in discrete steps, or we can say it is the quantized motion. So quantum mechanics was developed in two stages. So first one is called all quantum mechanics. It was introduced by Max Planck in 1900 to explain the black body radiation spectrum, because it was the major problem to explain the black body radiation spectrum at the end of 19th century. So this old quantum mechanics, it is based on the idea of discontinuous exchange of energy between radiations and matter. See, it is here different from the classical physics. In classical physics, the exchange of energy between radiations and matter was continuous, but here it is discontinuous. So the other applications of this theory were the explanations of photoelectric effect, Compton effect, etc., which we will discuss in the further lectures. Second is the new quantum mechanics or the wave mechanics. It was developed by Schrödinger, Heisenberg, Max Born in 1925, and this mechanics combines the ideas of classical wave theory with the de Broglie's wave particle duality hypothesis. We know it very well that according to de Broglie's hypothesis, a moving particle is associated with a wave. So in the new mechanics, the ideas of wave theory and particle mechanics, they were combined. So now let us discuss the Planck's quantum hypothesis. So Planck's quantum hypothesis, it explained the black body radiation spectrum, and it is based on two assumptions. The first one is that, which Planck assumed, a black body radiation cavity or chamber is filled up not only with radiations but also with simple harmonic oscillators of molecular dimensions in the walls of the cavity or chamber. So students, an oscillator cannot have any energy like in classical physics. So an oscillator can have only energies which are given by this expression. En is equal to nh nu. Here n is an integer, h is Planck's constant, and nu is the frequency of the oscillator. Second is that the oscillators do not radiate or absorb energy continuously, but they do so only in jumps or quanta of energy that is equal to h nu. Or we say that exchange of energy between radiations and matter is not continuous but takes place in the multiples of small units that is equal to h nu, and this small unit or packet of energy is called photon of radiations. So now, using these concepts, that is the energy of the oscillator, The Planck then calculated the average energy of an oscillator, and the procedure is same like we calculate the average height of the students in a class. We add the height of all the students and divide it by the number of students. So similarly here, the average energy of an oscillator is given by this. Then E average is equal to total energy of all the oscillators, and we divide it by the number of oscillators, and is found to be equal to h nu over exponential h nu over kt minus 1. Here k is Boltzmann constant, T is the absolute temperature of the cavity or chamber, and this was the first quantum mechanical result or expression in the history of physics, and it can be reduced to the classical result, that is equal to kt in the case when the frequency is going to be very small or the temperature is going to be very large. Using this expression for the average energy, Planck calculated the energy density in the black body radiations, and that one is called as Planck's radiation law. So energy density in the black body radiation in the frequency range nu and nu plus d nu is given by this expression. U nu d nu is equal to 8 pi nu square c cube into d nu. This is the number of oscillators, and it is multiplied by the average energy of the oscillator, that is h nu over exponential h nu over kt minus 1. This equation is called as the Planck's radiation law, and it correctly explained the black body radiation spectrum successfully over the whole frequency range, and it laid the foundation of quantum mechanics, or we say quantum physics, for explaining the newly discovered phenomena. So here, this Planck's radiation law, we see that in the low frequency range, it can be converted into Rayleigh-Jean's law, and in the high frequency range, it is converted into Wien's law. Say in the high frequency range, this exponential factor is very large, and as compared to this exponential factor, one can be neglected, and this expression is converted into Wien's law. Similarly, here in the low frequency range, it is converted into Rayleigh-Jean's law. So we say that this Planck's radiation law correctly explains the black body radiation spectrum over the whole frequency range. So in Planck's quantum hypothesis, we came across a new word that is called as the photon. So now we define the photon and what are its properties. So according to Planck's quantum theory of radiations, photons are the packets of energy which are emitted by a source of light. Energy of the photon E is equal to h nu. Nu is the frequency of light, h is Planck's constant. Rest mass of the photon m0, that is equal to 0. Velocity of photon is equal to c, velocity of light in all frames of reference. Next, we calculate the momentum of the photon. In relativistic mechanics or theory of relativity, the energy of a particle is given by this expression. E square is equal to m0 c square, c to the power 4 plus c square p square, where p is the momentum of the particle. So for photon, rest mass is equal to 0. So energy of the photon E is equal to Cp, and momentum of photon P is equal to E by C. We put here energy E is equal to h nu. Therefore, momentum of photon P is equal to h nu by C. So in the next lecture, students, we will see how this concept of photon was used to explain the concepts of photoelectric effect, Compton effect, etc. Thank you.